What up, my Yugi bros? Today we got a duel video that is very interesting. Very interesting indeed. We've got the XYZs versus everyone's favorite. Oh boy, let's lower that a little bit. This Monarch deck that's not so much a Monarch deck as it is a spell counter deck, more or less. It is what people are calling IC Magicians or Interconflict Magicians. The skill Interconflict. Once per duel, you can pay half your life points, take control of one monster your opponent controls until the end phase, but it can't attack directly that turn. Guys, it's Change of Heart. You know how good Change of Heart was? It was banned. It still is banned. That's why it's so good. But Interconflict here lets us Change of Heart once per duel whenever we want. We pay half our life. That means we always have half our life. Let's be fair. We could have one life and we could pay half of it. And then, of course, also, you take the monster. It can't attack directly, but that's fine. We're probably just going to tribute it anyways. So, with that in mind, our opponent is playing... Oh, can I not see it? Huh. Alright, well, they're playing Union Combination, which basically lets them banish materials from their field/graveyard to summon their fusion monsters, being their XYZ... the XYZs, you'll see them in a second. And so, anyways, we elect to go second. What's nice, though, is that we can go first. This card's a really good turn one set and pass type monster, but they're going to start out with the classic T move. We're going to draw into Dark Red Enchanter, boys and girls. We're going to activate that Interconflict. Normally, we don't do this willy-nilly first turn, but we figure the amount of advantage, we see a Kaiba skill, we assume it's XYZ. Taking this with this effect will give us the information probably needed, and it's Knight Assailant, so of course we know now it's most likely XYZ, so we're going to summon Dark Red Enchanter as opposed to Jinzo here. Dark Red Enchanter, when normal summon, gets 2 spell counters. Each time a spell is activated, you place a spell counter on that card when the spell resolves. This card gains 300 for each spell counter. It doesn't have a max as far as I know, which is kind of nuts. And once per turn, you can remove 2 spell counters from this card to discard a random card from your opponent's hand. So this card starts out at 17. When it's normal summon, gets 2 counters, so it's at 23. Every time a spell is played, it gets another 300 and a spell counter. But you can remove 2, like we're about to do here, to hit a random card out of the opponent's hand. And we hit their Rare Metal Morph. Really wish we hit their Union Hanger, but, you know, it happens. We're going to set Book of Moon, go into battle phase, and swing for 1700. Their other Rare Metal Morph will not be able to stop us there. So they will draw into Union Scramble, possibly the most broken card in Speed Duels. The advantage it creates is insane. So we're going to Union Hanger here, searching the Y Dragon Head. That does then give our Dark Red Enchanter a counter, so it's 2000 attack now. They're going to normal summon the Y Dragon Head, use Union Hanger's effect. We're going to chain Book of Moon, flipping this face down, so this won't resolve, giving this another 300 attack points, putting it up to 23. However, this is where they'll flip the round Metamorph. This is a card, really, guys, that for some reason I haven't been playing a lot lately, but after this duels, after this match, for sure, I'll be playing it a lot more often. It says you target a machine monster on the field while this card is face up on the field. That monster gains 500 attack. Also negate the first spell effect that targets that monster. This works because Book of Moon will target it, it'll equip to it, and then it'll resolve by negating this. And this won't resolve. However, you still will get the counter for Dark Red Enchanter. Spells still resolve as long as their activations are not negated. It takes us a little bit to catch this, but don't worry, we'll catch it before it ends up being relevant. So their Union Hanger will resolve. They'll get the Z Metal Tank on this thing, and this boy's 2600 attack. He gains the 600 from Z, the 500 from Rare Metal. He's packing some punch, so they're going to set the Union Scramble. They're just going to swing in here at this point. This thing is beefy, so we're going to Sphere Karibo that. We don't need that to survive. So we activate a Lure of Darkness that we top deck. We're going to banish Dark Red Enchanter with it. We get another counter, and at this point, yeah, we realize, okay, gets the third counter, so it goes up to 2600 attack points. They don't have a hand, so we're going to keep the counters on it, obviously. We normal summon Breaker here. We'll use Breaker's effect on their face down. And it is Union Scramble. I'm a little shocked they set this without banishing these monsters preemptively. However, their original plan may have been to banish these and then, you know, looked at the situation as, oh, it's 2600, and if it dies once Z dies, you know. So we end up having Dark Red swing. Unfortunately, Breaker cannot kill this because its defense is 16, go figure. And that's that. So they top deck the Foolish Burial. They will activate said Foolish. They will send X-Head Cannon. And they will flip their skill, maybe? Yes, flip their skill. Also, we got another counter for Foolish. This boy's at 2,900 right now, guys. But the Union combination says once per turn, activate the string of main phase. Once per turn, you can fusion summon one light machine fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your grave or field as fusion materials. For the rest of the turn, however, your opponent takes no damage. I really wish it said your opponent doesn't get or you don't get a battle phase, because they don't take damage, great, but they could still advantage by swinging over things. So I don't know. This goes very, very strong. So they're gonna banish all three here together, XYZ. And the thought process is, okay, great, but this is 100 points stronger, so what does it matter? You know, the most broken card in Speed Duels, Union Scramble, banishes itself here in the graveyard to add one of the banished pieces back to hand. Then they'll activate XYZ's effect, pitching that and destroying our Dark Red, then proceeding to go into battle phase and swing over. We don't take the damage. Hold on, we figured that out right there. But again, advantage over damage, guys. And quickly, we've lost our whole field. So we're going to draw. However, we draw into Creature Swap. Guys, when in doubt, man, Creature Swap. Hell of a story, actually. I got my first invite thanks to Creature Swap. So we're going to normal summon a Princess Magician, Creature Swap that with our opponent's XYZ. And, I mean, the thought process here is we could swing over this, then get its effect in our graveyard. But, guys, XYZ over a Princess is 24, and they have 2,300 left. So that's just game. So a quick game one to call that one. Going into game two, they're electing to go second, so we are forced to go first. But hey, guys, what's the best turn one against XYZ? Normal summon Kaiku. Guys, for the people that don't know, this card says if it inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can target up to 2 monsters in the grave, banish those targets. It can be relevant, it can also not be relevant because this son of a bee exists. But the most important effect is your opponent cannot banish cards from either graveyard. This is nuts. This means this deck can't play while this is on the field. The most you can do is normal X-Head Cannon, swing into it, or book it face down. Like, those are your two big options at this point. And go figure, we also opened the Lost Wind, which is very, very strong for this matchup as well. So they're going to draw into Y. So they have all three pieces. They're going to normal summon X-Head. They're actually going to set Book of Moon here. Interesting play. And they're going to crash their XYZ. And they're going to crash their X-Head Cannon with our Kaiku. Unfortunately, we can't stop that. Lost Wind only works on a special summon monster. So yeah, nothing doing there. But I am very surprised that they didn't just flip it with Book face down. But I mean, I do understand this is an out. This is an out. Instead of wasting this out, when this can kill over it, both of these can kill over it. Yeah, you know, advantage. But then we top deck the second Kaiku, guys. We top deck the second Kaiku. We're going into battle phase. We're going to swing for 1,800. They're going to Book of Moon our second Kaiku. And go figure, they actually can play right now. They're going to activate Union Hanger, which is going to be real clutch. We do still have the Lost Wind, though, don't forget. They're going to get the Y Dragon Head. They are then going to normal summon the Y Dragon Head, use Hanger's effect to equip the Z from the deck. And then from here, they're actually just going to banish those two. They could have banished all three for XYZ, but I think they're worried about the back row, so they might as well bait it with just the YZ Tank Dragon. And they're going to priority its effects. And they're going to use its effect, pitching the Z Metal Tank, targeting our defense. Now, interesting thought. We could Lost Wind here, and we probably should have Lost Wind, but the logic was we can't stop the attack. We can't stop them from killing Kaiku regardless. So we can either save Lost Wind for like XYZ, since we now know, you know, they got 2 of 3 again. All they need to have is Z in there, Y, and then they can make that. And yes, Lost Wind can set itself from the grave, but XYZ will pop it before it's live. So this is going to die regardless. We could just let it die and then take the damage. The damage isn't the end of the world, considering we normally pay half of this thing anyways. At that point, it really almost doesn't matter. So we let it go. They set the scramble. They swing for 21. Then we'll take it to the face. We draw into Apprentice Magician. We will now activate our Inner Conflict Change of Heart, taking their YZ, and they will immediately activate Union Scramble. Guys, the reason they do this is because they fear the Jinzo. This is dead against Jinzo, obviously, so as soon as we take it and have tribute fodder, sometimes they'll just activate this preemptively, so they don't have to worry about Jinzo. And this does allow them to get both back their Z and their Y. And then we tribute our monster for Dark Red Enchanter. We'll use the skill, and we will hit the Y out of their hand. We will go into battle phase and swing over the Y and pass to them. So we still have our Lost Wind. They top deck Foolish Burial here, though, guys. This is real strong. They can send whatever piece they need. Granted, they already have all three, so they're going to use their skill. They're going to banish X, Y, and Z, and summon the one, the only XYZ Dragon Cannon. Through Union Combination, since this doesn't start a chain and it summons this, they can activate XYZ on the summon before we have a chance to do anything. So we're going to Lost Wind to in chain to their effect. However, then they will activate the Union Scramble, getting back their X-Head Cannon and normal summoning it to the field. So what we thought was foolproof, now this is at half its attack, so it's 14 and it's negated. They can't get over our boy. Now it doesn't matter because they have the X-Head Cannon, and the X-Head Cannon will swing over, and that's unfortunately it. I can't believe the game where we opened Kaiku and then drew into the second Kaiku is the game that we lost. Honestly, like, that just seems too good to be true. So, and the Lost Wind. And the Lost Wind. Man, that's crazy. That is crazy. So going into game 3, they'll activate the Hanger. They will add a Z. They will then Foolish and X. I'd actually probably wait on the Foolish. If you're not going to make XYZ turn 1, Foolish can be used for Nighty Silent, which is actually a really, really good play. But that's just my opinion. They're going to normal the Y. They're going to equip Z to it. Then they will banish both of their monsters for YZ. Normally if they do this turn 1, it's to be assumed that they have the Union Scramble and they're just trying to gain advantage over you at this point. And they set one mysterious background pass. So yeah, it's probably the Union Scramble. We draw into Dark Red Enchanter. We activate Inner Conflict immediately, taking their YZ Tank Dragon. They will preemptively activate the Union Scramble, worrying about Jinzo. This then prompts Hanger's effect to activate, and they will equip a Y to their Z, and then we will tribute their YZ to summon our Dark Red Enchanter. We will use its effect, getting rid of the card in their hand. We will set the Book of Moon and the Lost Wind, go into battle phase, swing over their Y, and we will pass. They draw into X-Head Cannon. Guys, they already have the pieces to make the boy, and now they have the pieces to make the second boy. So they're going to make the first boy here, banishing all three, summon XYZ, priority on its effect, pitching the X-Head Cannon, destroying our Dark Red Enchanter, interesting target. We're going to Lost Wind the crap out of that. And then they're going to banish their trap, adding the other X-Head Cannon to their hand, normal summon that X-Head Cannon, and go into battle phase. This is an onslaught. Guys, no joke. I thought for a second we were screwed, and then I realized everything works with just Book of Moon. So we're going to activate Book of Moon when they have X-Head Cannon swing into our Dark Red Enchanter. We're going to target their Z Metal Tank. Their Z flips face down, loses the equipped. Now this goes up when Book resolves to 2,000 attack points. That then means that the X-Head Cannon takes 200 damage, is destroyed because our monster is stronger, and this is permanently Lost Winded at 1,400 with no effect. Guys, we just outed their board with Book of Moon and Dark Red Enchanter. It feels real good. We draw in a creature swap to add insult to injury. Now this card is real clutch, especially when we have something like Apprentice Magician. We're going to activate the creature swap. They're going to give us the nullified XYZ. They kind of want to keep their Z Metal Tank so that they can make another XYZ on their turn. So we get their Apprentice Magician, we get their XYZ, they get our Apprentice Magician. We're gonna go into battle phase. Unfortunately, we can't change battle positions to turn for the rest of the turn after we use swap. So I can't put this in defense because this thing's attack is halved, but its defense is still 2,600, which is really, really good. But so at that point, we figure we might as well just use it. It's 1,400, it'll kill over the Z. Then we'll have Dark Red Enchanter at 23, swing over the Apprentice for 19. Then Apprentice activates, and we're gonna set Old Vindictive Magician, which is another out, in addition to our field of BS at this point. to kind of make them play around, especially because we know they can make the XYZ Dragon Cannon on their next turn. So we're going to have them pick their poison as to what they want to pop with its effect. They draw into Rare Metamorph, doesn't matter, they'll use the skill, banish all 3 pieces, summon XYZ, use its effect, sending the Rare Metamorph and targeting our old Vindictive. Like we said, we kind of got them to do what we wanted. They go into battle phase, they swing over our Dark Red Enchanter. Unfortunately, we couldn't get it any higher. We don't take damage, however, because of their skill. And we're back to this situation. We draw into Lost Wind, which actually makes me a little annoyed because we could have set the Lost Wind in our graveyard when they summoned this, really making them have to choose what to pop. And obviously, I think they still would have popped Old Vindictive because they would have had no backup play. But we would have had the Lost Wind we could have flipped on this turn, targeting this, halving its attack, summoning Breaker, for example, here at 1900, have it swing over this for 500, and have XYZ swing over for exact game. And so when I drew Lost Wind, I realized, oh, we still have the Lost Wind in the grave. Why didn't we use it? But it's fine. It's okay. We're just going to be a turn behind. So we'll keep Breaker at 19. We will set the Lost Wind that we drew. We will switch our XYZ Dragon Cannon to defense because it's 26. And we'll pass. They top deck Union Scramble. I thought the game was over at this point. I thought we were all set. We had the Lost Wind. They're not going to be able to make any backup plays. They got nothing. But they top decked the freaking Union Scramble. So they're going to go into battle phase. They're going to have XYZ swing into Breaker. We're going to activate the Lost Wind. So it goes to 14. They take 500. And again, like, I think, all right, we're set. We're set forever here. We draw a creature swap, whatever, we don't need it. Let's use Breaker's effect on their back row. Oh, it's Union Scramble. So they summon 3 freaking monsters back to the field. And they're actually gonna, I think they're gonna switch here. Yeah, they switch the X for another Y. Because they already have an X. And they might as well play the 2 Ys. 1600 defense, so this can't kill it. This is 14, so it's not going to be able to kill it. I guess this could have been an X-Head cannon, but they wanted to save a Z for future quote-unquote fusion plays, which makes sense. So yeah, we're unfortunately now we can only kill Z Metal Tank, so we'll go into battle phase, have Breaker kill it. We'll pass. They draw into Book of Moon. They use the Union Scramble, add the X-Head Cannon back to their hand. Then they're going to use their skill. They're going to banish Y and Z to summon YZ Tank Dragon. If you guys see where this is going. We're going to then chain both our Lost Winds to that. Finally, we remember we have them. So we're going to set both of them. They're going to then activate Book of Moon on the XYZ because they can't out this at 2600 defense. They can't get rid of it. Except by flipping it face down, then using YZ's effect, pitching X-Head Cannon to destroy our XYZ. This is nuts. Then they're going to go to battle phase and have the YZ swing over. We don't take damage due to their skill. And we draw. We draw into Kaiku, guys. This should be it. We have 2 Lost Winds and a Kaiku now. Now they can't play. We're going to have Kaiku swing into the YZ because on the following turn, if they wanted, they could switch this to defense, and Lost Wind's not going to be able to get over this since Lost Wind only halves its attack points. So we're going to Lost Wind here in damage step, so they'll take the damage, and then we'll pass. I don't know why we didn't use Kaiku's effect. That would have been the smart thing. I don't know how we forgot to do that. We could have banished both X-Heads, especially now with Kaiku out, then they couldn't do anything. But we missed that opportunity, but hey, it's fine. They can't banish. They can't play under Kaiku. They set Scramble. They top deck another Scramble cost. Another one. A freaking another one. We draw into Book of Moon. We set Book of Moon. We go into battle phase. We swing over Y. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. They draw into Night Assailant. They set the Night Assailant. Guys, they are surviving by the skin of their teeth. And yet it's still working. We top deck another Kaiku. We should be on top at this point. We draw, we summon it. We swing into this thing. It's Night Assailant. They pop the other Kaiku. Whatever. We still have a Kaiku. We just outed their Night Assailant with top decking another Kaiku. They draw a Union Hanger and can't do anything with it, so they pass. This build, by the way, if you haven't noticed at this point, is playing 2Y and 2Z. So that hanger is dead. We draw into Breaker the Magical Warrior. What is stopping us from winning this game? We're going to use its effect, hit their back row. They're going to chain it. Union Scramble. This card is so dumb. Flip summon 3 monsters. Sure. Sure. But still, they can't banish. What is stopping us from winning this game? Kaiku swings over one. Breaker swings over another. They draw into Book of Moon. Guys, they activate the book, flipping the Kaiku. Now they can use their skill. They'll banish X and Z to special summon XZ Tank Cannon in defense. They haven't forgotten about our Lost Wind by this point, which is crazy because I almost forgot about it at this point. They'll summon it in defense because they know they can't half our defense. They'll use its effect with priority. We'll Lost Wind it because we have to. Like, come on, why won't we at this point, you know? Sure, alright, resolves. We keep our Book of Moon. They banish the trap. They use its effect, add X-Head Cannon to hand. They'll normal summon X-Head, put Z into attack mode. They'll have Z swing over Kaiku. We have the Book of Moon, but if we flip it on that, they're just going to swing it over with X-Head Cannon. So we'd rather save the book for the X-Head, so I guess we're booking the X-Head now. And we're still not winning this game! This is insane! We draw into Book of Moon. We set Book of Moon. We set Creature Swap. At this point, we need to set bluffs, because I don't know, man. Because just in case. We've seen, what have we seen? We've seen 2 XYZs, we played through 2 YZs, we don't know if they're playing 2 XZs or the last one is the XY, but we don't want to take the chance, so we set the other back row as a bluff. We have Breaker swing over the X-Head Cannon because we know we can kill that. They draw into Knight Assailant number 2. And now they can essentially wipe out our back row, except this is Lost Winded, so they can't wipe out our back row. So they now use their skill, banish X and Y, summon the last thing from their extra deck. They've summoned all 6 of their pieces from the extra deck, guys. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. They're going to switch Z to a defense mode. They're going to have XY attack over Breaker. We're going to book it because what else are we going to do, right? What else are we going to do? Oh my god, how are we going to come back from this? Like, I guess we have to deck them out, right? There's nothing we can do at this point. Like, they're just going to wall us forever. And then hopefully they wall us until they have the outs, and then they just pound us to oblivion. The only thing that I guess they could have done, which I guess if this wasn't here, they'd set the Knight Assailant so they'd have a way to clear Breaker and then swing it directly the following turn. But guys, what can we do? What do we have? What is the possible option, right? We draw into Sphere Karibo. Now guys, if I told you Sphere Karibo was the out, what would you say to that? What would you say to that? Because when I first top decked this, I was like, well, this doesn't do jack shit, you know? Come on, this isn't gonna stop. Like, we can't kill this. We can kill this if it's not in defense. This is the only thing we can attack. But wait, guys, the unsung hero. We normal summon Sphere Karibo, and then we activate Creature Swap. So we'll swap the sphere. They give us Z, whatever, who cares? Guys, the point is, we can just swing over it for enough damage. And we win. We freaking win this. I can't believe it. There's the Jinzo. We made the one Jinzo. We never saw it all freaking game. They went through all 3 of their Union Scrambles and all 6 of their fusions. 4 being here, 2 being here. Guys, Creature Swap is so good. It's so underrated. Okay, for the XYZ deck, we played triple X-Head Cannon, double Y Dragon Head, 2 Z Metal Tank, 2 Knight Assailant. I like this ratio. There was a build I've seen recently that plays 1 Y and 2 Z, and while I do understand that you don't technically need one of the other 2 pieces, you can get away with 1 because you're always recycling it with this. You're playing triple hanger, and in that build when I played the 1 and the 2, I always drew this dead. Like, outside of turn 1, it was always dead. So, I don't know. That build also only played 2 Foolish. I think at this point, like, if you see these earlier, this is a lot worse, but this is always good. This will always get you what you need. So, and then you're playing the Assailants. I don't know, I just think this is solid at 2, or I'm sorry, at 3. And these are solid at 2 ofs. The deck cycles through itself so fast, so you don't care that you're over 20 cards. 2 Book of Moon, we could arguably play the 3rd, but I wanted to keep this deck a little bit thinner than average. Plus, we're playing the 2 rare Metamorphs. The triple Union Scramble, best card in the game, as you've seen why. And then a double rare Metamorph. In the side, we play the 1 Offerings to the Doomed, because I never leave home without it. The 3rd Book of Moon, double Cosmic Cyclone, mostly for the mirror match, but this card can be clutch in other matchups. And the 2 Lost Wind. This card's just solid, as you've seen. Double XYZ, double YZ, because you will summon these the most often, and then the 1 and the 1. Alternatively, for the Interconflict Magician deck, we play the 1 Jinzo in the main deck, because no one expects it in the main deck, which is why I love it. Dark Red, 2 Dark Red Enchanters. This card is crazy good. As you've seen, another combo I didn't do, but you can do in this deck, is if you have this already on the field, you can normal summon Apprentice, give it another counter, to potentially either get it over something or hit a card from the hand if you already had a counter on it. Same goes for Breaker. You play triple of this. Breaker is not once per turn, so Breaker can be Breaker could pop a card on the field, then you could flip this. So let's say if it was set for a turn, it just says when it's summoned, so flip summon includes summoned. You could flip this, give this another counter, pop another back row. Breaker became Twin Twister. It's kind of nuts. In addition to the triple Apprentice Magician, we play the 1 Magician of Faith and the 1 Old Vindictive as options for this card. And then we play triple Sphere Karibo. This deck does not have a lot of defense, and you don't set a lot of cards. And most of the time in today's game, if you set cards, they end up tending to be popped. So we do play Book of Moon because it's chainable, but everything outside of that just is kind of lackluster. Shrink is an option, but because you're playing weaker monsters, I like just playing this card instead of Shrink. It's just more consistent. So we do max out on the Sphere Karibos just for extra defense, and I love when people don't expect this. Double Allure of Darkness. Everything in this deck is dark that is not Magician of Faith, so you're pretty good with that. Double Night Beam. A lot of people don't play this card, and I get it, but I don't. Anything that you're playing Interconflict in, Cosmic Cyclone's kind of bad because you don't want to pay the 1,000. The 1,000 might screw you over later because you're paying half your life points for that thing. So I think Night Beam is a nice alternative. Dust Tornado is as well, but if you're playing around traps or you're playing Jinzo, chances are Dust Tornado is not always the best. So I like Night Beam a whole lot more, and I really, really like the fact that they can't chain the target to this card. Sometimes that just it catches people off guard. It feels really, really good to Night Beam and Union Scramble. I'm just throwing that out there. Double Creature Swap, best card in the deck. I don't care what anybody says. Card's hilarious, and it's really, really hilarious with this. And then Triple Book is Triple Book. Double Kaiku in the side deck. This card's nuts, as you guys saw. Double Lost Wind. This card's nuts, as you guys saw. Double Widespread. This card's nuts against machines, and that's why we play it, because machines are unaffected by spells, so we can't Book of Moon or Creature Swap for them, unfortunately. So we have to find an alternative out. I might actually bump this to 3 because this is like the only out in that against that matchup. So guys, what do you think in the comments down below? Let me know. Like, love, and subscribe. Like, love, and subscribe. Click the notification bell to get all our latest updates. We're getting closer to new stuff. Just leaving that out there. Bye.